Welcome back to Blood Bowl 2. I'm Kyle,
And I'm Jay.
and today we're going to talk about some Wood Elf teams. And first up, we're going to talk about our Wood Elf Standard team.
Oh, yes. And like all standard teams, this time we're only rocking 2 rerolls, an Apothecary, and 2 Fan Factor for that little bit of extra cash. This
Why
team
is that,
is...
Jay?
this team isn't generally pretty expensive. Even your linemen are 70,000, your catchers, throwers 90,000, war dancers 120 or 130. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, they're 120.
So let's start off with our throwers here. This is your quarterback, as we've put across the board. These guys are the all stars of your team with 7 movement speed, 3 strength, 4 agility, 7 armor's kind of bad. So keep that in mind. You're gonna lose some players. With access to the general agility passing trees, so you can pick up things like leadership and get that extra reroll for free. You get your standard passing just off the block because he's a thrower. He's got access to a lot of things, and with that 4 agility, he's already gotten some good routes.
Yeah, you get Dump Off, Hail Mary, everything that the Dark Elves or the High Elves get. In general, these guys are, I would say, one of my favorite elf combinations. Like, I know some people like the Dark Elves or whatever, but
Yeah.
Wood Elves, for me, are the most efficient.
Yeah, they're one of my favorite as well. They have some pretty interesting units that we'll talk about here in a minute. But we're going to move into the catchers with that big 8 movement speed, almost catching rats. Not quite, but almost. 2 strength, they're not going to be bashing too much, but the 4 agility and 7 armor, you still got to watch out for them. They're probably going to die. Uh, general and agility access trees coming up with catch, dodge, and sprint, allowing them to get that extra movement space in there. So, with a grand total of 11 movement there, if you go for it, you can really make some distance with these guys. That's almost half line to end zone.
Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous. Like if you catch somebody on the corner or something and they don't set up their defensive players the right way, that's a touchdown every time.
Yeah,
I mean, you're gonna have to roll for your QB and him to catch it, but with both of them having that 4 agility, it's that much easier. You could very easily score with a Wood Elf team.
with one to two turns, real easy.
All right,
Moving
Jay,
down the line, we
to the
got our
white bread.
beautiful linemen. These linemen are nice because they have 7 movement speed, 3 strength, 4 agility, 7 armor. With that 4 agility there means that everybody on your team is a catcher. As we've said before with elf teams, it's pretty standard meta at this point. Um, and access to the general and agility trees, you have the potential for an entire team of catchers with the wood elves. And that 7 movement speed means they're going to be getting around, darting in and out of there. But you got to be careful. You're going to need an apothecary. 7 armor is pretty risky.
That's the thing. Like if you if you don't, you know, corner these guys, it's gonna be a bad day for you. You're gonna find that it's like putting pressure on a pipe. A leak's gonna spring somewhere. You're gonna get burnt if
Yeah.
you don't catch one of these guys and put them in
Because
some sort of formation to where they're blocked off. It's gonna get bad.
a lot of teams are going to be focusing in on those catchers there. And that's where your linemen are going to really shine because just one lineman behind the enemy lines is going to make the difference.
That's the thing too. These linemen, like you said, Jay, they could easily become a catcher. 2 touchdowns, and they already have that catchability. And they don't have the 8 movement skill or the sprint, but you're still better than a lot of catchers in Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
Just like that. So very, very good player. Okay, since there is a lot of different units, we have an agile team for the Wood Elves.
Which is probably one of the most agile teams in all of Blood Bowl, to be perfectly honest, minus like Skaven or some silly stuff you can do with Lizardmen. But yeah, we at least got one reroll this time around, which is already looking up. one apothecary, 3 fan factor to earn a little bit of cash. Start down at the top here. We got two throwers. Two throwers. These are going to be our money makers as usual. We love our throwers here over at Glass City Gaming. But who doesn't love a quarterback? Got your 7 movement, 3, 4, 7. You know, very fragile team across the board. This is a pretty fragile team. Apothecary is the most important thing on this team.
That's another thing though. We do love the quarterback, and here's why. Especially elves, with that movement speed, you can roll out very easily. You get dump off, you can get the Hail Marys, and you have two quarterbacks. So that's a very good combination of one picks it up, tosses it to the other. You line up another toss for later on. It's pretty. Yeah,
Positioning is real key with this team. You're never wanting to do maximum line. Maybe with the Bashi team, but you're pretty much going to have 3 linemen on the field, and the rest of them are going to be sitting shotgun and trying to make plays happen. Second up, we got our catchers. We're going to be running. How many are we running here, Kyle?
got three.
Got 3 catchers.
You can have four, but we only have three due to the cost of them. And for me, it was, what's a better idea, having two throwers and 3 catchers, or a catcher and four catchers and one thrower. So it's up to you. You can change those out, but for me, it's always better to have more options of a thrower on each side of the field and 2 catchers over here with a catcher and a lineman that just so happen to have catch because he got 2 touchdowns. Like Jay said, these wood elves are the best. If agile team, I would say they got the most bang for their buck. I would say.
Yeah. And another good reason for picking up two throwers there is that 7 armor is going to be a factor when you play against some of these bigger bashier teams like orcs, dwarves, etc. You're gonna dance around dwarves, but if they get their hands on that thrower, they're gonna kill him.
Yeah, there's no there's no happy ending if you get cornered by a Bashi team with these guys. That's why they can move so fast. That's why they have the agility to make the catches and stuff. The whole, it's that whole cat and mouse mentality. You don't want to get caught. So,
Bare minimum on the line, and then try to back off the line as soon as you can. Followed up by our linemen. We got a lot of them. Essentially, this is a team with 2 throwers and 9 catchers.
that's the beautiful thing. And here's another little tidbit to go along with it. Whoever you put on the line for these linemen, keep them there. Try to use those same exact 3 all the time, or 4 all the time. However you're gonna run it. Try to use those guys all the time at the same spot, so you can score with these other 2 and make them catchers.
Yeah. Because they'll catch up to those catchers really quickly. The only difference is they'll be better catchers because they have 3 strength.
Right. And next up, we have our Wood Elf Bashi team.
All right, looking at the Bashi team here, these players are pretty expensive. This is noted over here on the left-hand side. While we don't have any rerolls, we got an apothecary because some of these players are not going to see the next game. 3 fan factor is our one and only hope to try to pick up some rerolls later in the games. But we only need 1 or 2 wins to really start putting in some rerolls. Starting at the top of the list, we got our Treeman. Probably one of the best, if not the best, big guy in all of Blood Bowl that I think, in my own personal opinion. Only 2 movement, 6 strength. That 6 strength is huge. That 1 agility means he's not going to touch the ball, except for rare occasions where the ball bounces and somehow he manages to pick it up, which is always terrible. And 10 armor means that he's going to be sticking around. He's not going to get pushed off the field. He's not going to get beaten down too hard. And starting with his abilities here, he's got Mighty Blow, solid. He's got Loner, which, the negatives on this guy are Loner and Take Root, but we'll talk about Take Root in a second. He's got Stand Firm. He's not getting pushed anywhere. He's there to stay. Strong Arm doesn't really take too much factor here. He's not going to be doing too many passes. With that 1 agility. Thick Skull, he's sticking around. Throw Teammate, not really relevant on this particular team. And Take Root is probably the least detrimental of all big guy abilities. On a roll of one, whenever you do a drive here, he can't move. He takes root. He's stuck there. His basically his movement value becomes zero, and the only way to get out of that is to get knocked down, placed prone, or for the down to be over. So it's not that bad. He still creates a giant dead zone that if anything moves into it, he can smash it.
Yeah, like you said, treemen are, in my eyes, one of the most useful big guys. They have, they have access to the strength tree. The movement and agility for me never really comes into play because I've always put them on the line and they just stay there while the rest of my elves are, running the field.
Right?
So,
Yeah, these guys are not lizard men. They're not. Their big guy isn't doing anything crazy.
but
And at a price at 120,000, that's a value.
next up are our war dancers.
Probably my favorite unit in all of Blood Bowl.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the most important player on these teams and one of the best units. If that's hard to argue.
Yeah, they're in the top three. 8 movement speed. They're going to be running the ball crazy. They're 3 strength, 4 agility. They're picking the ball up. They're moving the ball. They're doing stuff. 7 armor. They're a little on the weak side, but you know you got to you got to have some negative somewhere. They come standard with block, dodge. We already know that negates 2 block dice by itself. Leap, they get to jump over the line and really make some serious plays happen. With that movement speed 8, they're going to be making some plays. With access to the general and agility trees, they're going to be able to pick up some really nice abilities. But the fact that they already have block and dodge, you don't really have any options. You can go crazy with these guys.
All right, and next up, of course, the linemen.
All right, we've said a lot about these guys already. These linemen are tough. They got a lot of movement speed, got a lot of strength, got a really lot of agility. Armor class terrible. All in all, pretty solid players. These are essentially you're buying a bunch of catchers for your team is what you're doing when you're buying these guys.
Yeah, this strength thing kind of hurts if you want to do anything else other than the general. You can get that block. You can get stuff to help them out a little bit. You can get the dodge from the agility. You can make it easier on yourself, but you're not. This isn't the Bashi part of this team. That's all the war dancers and the treatment.
Yeah, that's your main 3 line there. And with the war dancers, they're going to be able to chase down some players and really put them down.
Yep.
Maybe get strip ball on one of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool options you can do with these guys, right? So, and last but not least, the Wood Elf Snowball Team.
Yep, team favorites over here at Glass City Gaming. We love the Snowball Team with no rerolls because again, really expensive even for a Snowball Team. We're picking up 2 cheerleaders and 2 assistant coaches with our extra cash, but we got our non-fan factor there and our apothecary. Because we're going to lose some players, especially on this lineup. We got 1 war dancer just to be our all-star, do everything kind of guy. And the rest are going to be our linemen. So this team here is going to be pretty fun. They can all pick up the ball. They're all catchers. They're all throwers. They're all linemen. So this is like an all-around good team. And then that war dancer is really going to be where you shine. He's going to be picking up the ball. He's going to be jumping over lines. He's going to be dodging in and out through plays and then making the touchdowns.
This is a perfect scenario of saying, okay, I'm gonna put 4 on the line, 2 and 2, and then have my war dancer pick up the ball, or however you're gonna run it. You gotta designate people on this team to become what you want them to become before you get that money. Because I mean, with your first couple of games, you can buy another war dancer. Maybe you want a treeman after that, and these linemen will be keep getting experience and becoming the players that you want them to become. Whether it's a catcher or a thrower, or just a better lineman in general.
Right. And they're pretty much they can slide into any role that they need to. The only thing they can't slide into is a war dancer. And as soon as we get a chance to pick up a second war dancer, that's what we're gonna do with this fan factor. I would almost say save up for another war dancer opposed to picking up a reroll because it's that important to get a second one.
Yeah, it's the reroll thing. That's kind of that kind of sucks sometimes when you know try to make a clutch play and it doesn't pan out. But you know, dollars dollars on the table, you're all in. I would absolutely rather have another War Dancer than a reroll
Yeah, because they're
because
gonna, hands down, they're gonna be making more plays than that one time you need to reroll.
yeah, that one reroll, you know, that's great in the moment. But if you're smart about how you play and you play zone like you should with elves, there's you know those war dancers kind of score and score and score, and you know they're the ones making you the money anyway. So
And this team's going to pick up dodge a lot, so you're not going to need those rerolls as much as you think you do. Every once in a while, you're going to miss a clutch play, but you know this is a risky team. But they're going to be earning money regardless of what happens.
this has been our wood elves that we build. If you guys have some wood elf builds, or in that case any other builds for Blood Bowl, go ahead and put them in the comments section. And thank you for watching.